1 minute late. So we'll be reading from Krishna book, chapter 5, the talks between Krishna and Rukmini. A wonderful discussion. I will read one paragraph to bring up to the speed and then we will continue. Material contamination is so strong that everyone is working very hard day and night for material happiness. The show of religiousness, austerity, penance, humanitarianism, philanthropy, politics, science, everything is aimed at realizing some material benefit. For the immediate success of material benefit, the materialistic person generally worships different demigods. And under the spell of material propensities, they sometimes take to the devotional service of the Lord. Sometimes it so happens that if a person sincerely serves the Lord and at the same time maintains material ambition, the Lord very kindly removes the sources of material happiness. Without finding any recourse in material happiness, the devotee then engages himself absolutely in pure devotional service. So this is also, as a devotee, we realize that we have also the material necessities and everything. But as Krishna will see our sincerity, he will remove the source of material happiness. That's the mercy of Krishna. And then we will be able to engage absolutely in pure devotional service, not contaminated, mixed with karma, jnana, or Astanga Yoga. So Lord Krishna is continuing. My dear best of the queens, it is clearly understood by me that you have no material ambitions. Your only purpose is to serve me. And you have long been engaged in unalloyed service, exemplary, unalloyed devotional service. Not only can bestow upon the devotee liberation from this material world, but it also promotes him to the spiritual world for being eternally engaged in my service. So persons who are too addicted to material happiness cannot render such service. Women whose hearts are polluted and full of material desire devise various means of sense gratification while outwardly showing themselves to be a great devotees. Who can we cheat? You know, Krishna is sitting within our heart. So at least through this thing, we should not pretend anything. We should present ourselves as internally who we are. So Krishna is continuing, my dear honored wife, although I have thousands of wives, I do not think that any one of them can love me more than you. The practical proof of your extraordinary position is that you had never seen me before your marriage. You had simply heard about me from a third person. And still, your faith in me was so fixed that even in the presence of many qualified, rich, and beautiful men of the royal order, you did not select any one of them as your husband, but insisted on having me. What a nice thing to attract Krishna's. He is revealing how we can attract single-pointed devotion. Nothing else should come. You neglected all the princes present, and very politely you sent me a confidential letter inviting me to kidnap you. While I was kidnapping you, your elder brother Rukmi violently protected and fought with me. And as a result of the fight, I defeated him mercilessly and disfigured his body. At the time of Anuruddha's marriage, when we were all engaged in playing chess, there was another fight with your brother Rukmi on a controversial verbal point. And my elder brother Balram finally killed him. I was surprised to see that you did not utter even a word of protest over this incident. Because of your great anxiety that you might be separated from me, you suffered all the consequences without speaking even a word. As a result of this great silence, my dear wife, you have purchased me for all the time. I have become eternally under your control. This is the beauty when we surrender. We have to take austerity, we have to take penance, we have to suffer to attain the attention of Krishna. And then Krishna will completely come under his devotees' control. This is the greatness of Krishna. So he makes sure that he chooses the right persons so they never misuse their positions before he ever or decided to get under their control. So we have to prove ourselves. You sent your messenger to me, inviting me to kidnap you. And when you found that there was a little delay in my arriving on the spot, you began to see the whole world as vacant. Haribol. This is the super excellent position of advanced devotee. In this world, there is absolutely nothing that can attract except Krishna. And Krishna is revealing. At that time, you concluded that your beautiful body was not fit to be touched by anyone else. Therefore, thinking that I was not coming, you decided to commit suicide and immediately end that body. You know, when we hear it, there is still somewhat, maybe 300-400 years ago also, the king in India, they were living very noble life. And when last time, a couple of years ago, when I went to Rajasthan and visited those places, the fort of the king, and it says that the Aurangzeb or somebody wants to see the wife of the king because she said to be the most beautiful woman at that time in the world. And the arrangement was made that he cannot see directly, but he can see through the reflection in the mirror. That's a wonderful place. And then I heard that the king becomes so naive that he wants to give the farewell to this Aurangzeb or whoever was there. Up to that, you know, it's a big mountain and big fort with nice boundaries, brick wall, so many gates. So he went up to the end of this fort. And then the Aurangzeb or whoever was there, they kidnapped the king. And as soon as the Padmavati was the wife of the name, I think, when she heard the news that the king has been kidnapped, Not only the queen, but all the Sakhis, they without having any hesitations, they threw the body from the top of the mountain and left this world. This is recent time. So we can see how the woman was, full of chastity. My dear Rukmini, such great and exalted love for me will always remain within my soul. As far as I am concerned, it is not within my power to repay you for your unalloyed devotion to me. Krishna shows his position, how kind he is, how the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna certainly has no business being anyone's husband or son or father, because everything belongs to him and everyone is under his control. When do we realize this? Haribol. We want to control ourselves, right? Everything we want to manage ourselves. He does not require anyone's help for his satisfaction. He is Atmaram, self-satisfied. He can derive all pleasure by himself. And when he wants, he can expand in Radharani and he can love Radharani. Anything what he wants, without anyone's help. When the Lord is sent to play the part of a human being, he plays a role either as a husband, son, friend, or enemy in full perfection. As such, when he was playing as a perfect husband of the queens, especially of Rukminiji, he enjoyed conjugal love in complete perfection. According to the Vedic culture, although polygamy is allowed, none of the wives should be ill-treated. In other words, one may take many wives only if he is able to satisfy all of them equally as an ideal householder. Otherwise, it is not allowed. Lord Krishna is the world teacher. Therefore, even though he had no need for a wife, he expanded himself into as many forms as he has wives. And he lived with them as an ideal householder, observing the regulative principles, rules, and commitment in accordance with the Vedic injunctions and the social laws and custom of the society. For each of his 16,108 wives, he simultaneously maintained different palaces, different establishments, and different atmospheres. Thus the Lord, all the one, exhibited himself as 16,108 ideal householders. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the second volume. 5th chapter of Krishna talks between Krishna and Rukmini. So we will be embarking on chapter 6, the genealogical table of family of Krishna. Haribol. There is a deep chart has been produced showing this family. Haribol. Beauty, wisdom, fame, wealth, and renunciation. Exactly like Krishna, Haribol. Like father, like son. All the 16,108 wives of Krishna were princesses. And when each saw that Krishna was always present in her prospective palaces and did not leave home, they considered Krishna to be henpecked husband was very much attached to them. Every one of them thought that Krishna was her very obedient husband, but actually Krishna had no attractions for any of them. Although each thought that she was the only wife of Krishna and was very, very dear to him, Lord Krishna, since he is Atmaram, self-sufficient, was neither dear nor inimical to any one of them. He was equal to all the wives and treated them as a perfect husband just to please them. For him, there was no need for even a single wife. In fact, since they were women, the wives could not understand the exalted position of Krishna, nor the truths about him. So all the princesses who were wives of Krishna were extremely beautiful, and each one of them was attracted by Krishna's eyes, which was just like lotus petals, and by his beautiful face, long arms, broad ears, pleasing smile, humorous talk, and sweet words. Influenced by this future of Krishna, they all used to dress themselves very attractively, desiring to attract Krishna by their feminine bodily appeal. They used to exhibit their feminine characteristics by smiling and moving their eyebrows, thus throwing sharpened arrow of conjugal love, just to awaken Krishna's lusty desire for them. Still, they could not arouse the mind of Krishna nor his sex appetite. This means that Krishna never had any sex relations with any of these many wives, save and except to beget children. The queens of Dwarka were so fortunate that they got Lord Shri Krishna as their husband and personal companion. Although he is not approachable by exalted demigod like Brahma, they remain together as husband and wife. And Krishna, as an ideal husband, treated them in such a way that every moment there was an increase of transcendental bliss in their smiling exchanges, talking and mixing together. Each and every wife had hundreds and thousands of maidservants. Yet, when Krishna entered the palace of his thousands of wives, each one of them used to receive Krishna personally by sitting him in a nice chair, worshipping him with all requisite paraphernalia, personally washing his lotus feet, offering him betel nuts, massaging his leg to relieve them from fatigue, fanning him to make him comfortable, offering all kinds of scented sandalwood pulp, oil, and aromatics, putting flower garland on his neck, dressing his hair, getting him to lie down on the bed, and assisting him in taking his bath. Thus, they showed always in every respect, especially when Krishna was eating, they were always engaged in the service of the Lord. So of the 16,108 queens of Krishna, each of whom had 10 sons. So there is following a list of the sons of the first 8 queens. By Rukmini, Krishna had 10 sons: Pradyumna, Charudeshna, Sudeshna, Charudeha, Sucharu, Charugupta, Bhadracharu, Charuchandra, Vicharu, and Charu. None of them were inferior in their qualities to their divine Father, Lord Sri Krishna. Similarly, Satyabhama had Bhanu and Pratibhanu. The next queen, Jambavati, had 10 sons, headed by Samba, and their names are as follow: Samba, Sumitra, Purujit, Satajit, Sahasrajit, Vijay, Chitraketu, Vasuman, Dravid, and Kratu. Lord Krishna was specifically very affectionate to the son of Jambavati. By his wife Satya, the daughter of the king Nagnajit, Lord Krishna had 10 sons, and they are as follow: Veera, Chandra, Aswasena, Chitragu, Vegavan, Vrusha, Ama, Shanku, Vasu, and Kunti. Amongst all of them, Kunti was very powerful. Krishna had 10 sons by Kalindi, and they are as follow: Shruta, Kavi, Vrusha, Vira, Subahu, Bhadra, Santi, Darsa, Purnamash, and the youngest Somaka. For his next wife, Lakshmana, the daughter of the king of Madras province, he begot 10 sons of the names Pragosh, Gatravan, Shimha, Bal, Prabala, Urdhvag, Mahasakti, Saha, Oja, and Aparijat. Similarly, his next wife, Mitravinda, had 10 sons, and they are as follow: Vrat, Harsha, Anila, Gudra, Vardhana, Ananda, Mahamsa, Pavan, Vahni, and Shruti. His next wife, Bhadra, had 10 sons of the name Sangramajit, Bruhatsena, Shura, Praharana, Arijit, Jai, Subhadra, Vama, Ayu, and Satyaka. Beside these 8 chief queens, Krishna had 16,100 other wives, and all of them had 10 sons each. The eldest son of Rukmini, Pradyumna, was married with Mayavati from his very birth. And afterward, he was again married with Rukmavati, the daughter of his maternal uncle Rukmi. From this, Rukmavati, Pradyumna had a son named Anuruddha. In this way, Krishna's family, Krishna and his wives, along with their sons and grandsons, and even great-grandsons, all combined together to include very nearly 1 billion family members. Haribol. Rukmi, the elder brother of Krishna's first wife, Rukmini, was greatly harassed and insulted in his fight with Krishna. But on the request of Rukmini, his life was saved. Since then, Rukmi had held a great grudge against Krishna and was always inimical toward him. Nevertheless, his daughter was married with Krishna's son, and his granddaughter was married with Krishna's grandson, Aniruddha. Oh, I didn't realize it's already 7 o'clock. I'm so sorry. Somebody should tell me. I'm extremely sorry. We went 5 minutes further. So let's stop here. This should be punctual. When we read this lineage, we get into that we forget the timing. Krishna will forgive us. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that their life can also become successful. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who join every day, taking a lot of austerity and penances from Houston, Fresno, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Phoenix, Tempe, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Sanford, Jacksonville, Loganville, Georgia, Maine, Ottawa, New Orleans, Toronto, Calcutta, New Delhi, and Pondicherry. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhuveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So the devotees who would like to hang around, we can chant extra rounds. I think I will chant until 7:30, and then I will continue chanting. But my humble request that please unmute your phone and chant from 7:30, okay? If not, then